Hello, I'm Donna Thomas. This is the answer that the guiding souls gave to a question from a meditator who's having some challenges staying connected in that state of peace throughout the day.
I trust Spirit. I meditate 2 times a day and practice the presence of Spirit whenever I remember, and yet something during the day can bring me out of it so quickly. It's frustrating. I wonder if Spirit can give me ways to stay more connected.
As we do look at the self of you and the deep desire for the self to merge with the divine, merge with the higher aspects of self, the higher ideals of the self, the earthly self, the self that does at times throughout the day have great joy, as with the moods, as with the mental patterning, as with the occurrences that do bring about themselves in front of you. There is the higher ideals in how one would live the life, as do many who have the practices of the meditation, the sitting meditation, the walking meditation, the yogic practices of meditation, and so forth, as do many wish to bring about a more peaceful existence, a more peaceful place in the world, and a more peaceful world itself. There is then the opinion, if I cannot bring about the goodness of myself in its fullness in every moment of every day, how then can the rest of the planet bring about peace within themselves? For I must be quite perfect in my ability to manifest the peace in all moments. As we would then approach you with the understanding that the intent of the selves, like yourself, of earth, the intent to bring about the goodness, the intent to bring about the love, the intent to bring about the fine points of living in a life in alignment with the will of the soul, the will of the God, the will of the beings who do stand beyond earth, bringing about your infusion to the self of you, the moments when you do feel quite connected. We would say then that the intention of you, the desire to bring the self in your fullness, is much more potent and important than the actual momentary response. For if you would know the self of you, that when the moment when you do step out of the flow of love, you would then wish to bring the self back. And that, in the earth terms, is the work. That, in earth terms, is the opportunity and the influence of the soul on the self. I have stepped out of the flow, as I do time and time again, as many do on earth time and time again. But I do bring myself back with the inner intention, the will, the strength, and the courage that it does take at times to bring the self back to the knowing, bringing the self back to the truth of the intention of the inner world and of the infusion of the God within the self. So we would say that each moment that you bring about the intention and you bring about the self, the mind, the heart back to the flow of which we speak, that in and of itself is your moment of enlightenment. It is your moment of evolution. It is your movement of stepping closer and closer to what you would call the God realization, that which understands as all love, that which is understood as all connection, that which is understood as the deep yearning to merge with that of all things, of all existence, of all time, of all space. So we would say, as you bring yourself forward in this moment to meet ourselves, to know that just as in each day, when you do ask the self, why am I not feeling beloved? You at this moment have asked, how can I be the love? And that act is the act of love that you are searching for, but has eluded the self of you for much of a lifetime. For the habits of self-beating, the habits of the self-finding fault, and so forth, would prevent you from understanding the absolute truth of your being, which is as we do see you in this time and in all times. Do you understand?
Yes, thank you.